Hey Guru Nation, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. I got asked a question from Instagram. Which has more job security, sponsor or CRO? It's a difficult one to answer because there's a long tail for both of these type of organizations, meaning, like, yes, we all know the big ones, like the top 5 pharma or the top 5 CROs, which control like 80% of the market share or the revenue in their respective niches. But the long tail is where all the variability is at. So to give a generalized macro answer, I think both offer tremendous job security. If I had to pick which one, probably the CROs, just because the top 5 CROs control the market share for 80% of the CRO industry, whereas the pharma, I would say it's probably the top 25 pharma control 80% of the revenues in big pharma. Not to mention, pharma has such a long tail, much longer than CROs. There's way more sponsors than there are CROs, that inevitably some of those sponsors, they're small cap biotechs, they can go bankrupt. Financing becomes an issue, whereas with the CROs, they're just less CROs. So stability just by a hair, CROs. Quality of life, however, to me, it's unquestioned. Its sponsors offer much better quality of life for mainly for their CRAs, but also like the other clinical research members, employees that they employ. So let me break it down. I actually asked a colleague of mine, Ashley Margot, the same question, because she's big into the employment sector. She helps our students from CRA and CRC academies get hired, do interviews, do their CVs. So she has a lot more like daily interactions with these organizations. She says the companies with the gold make the rules. So by her logic, sponsors. And it makes sense. But we forget that CROs, the top 5 CROs, their market caps, like these are all publicly traded companies, their market caps rival some of the big pharma. Like not the huge ones like Pfizer and Schering-Plough, GlaxoSmithKline, Boehringer, but like the mid-cap pharma. And like, remember, there's like thousands of sponsors, but there's only dozens of CROs. So the big CROs, they have higher market cap valuations, so they have more gold than the majority of sponsors. And I actually think they could weather the storm as a whole better. The storm meaning a recession, which we're about to head into, or rising interest rates, which we are also heading into. I think CROs can weather the storm better. I also think CROs offer better opportunities for lesser experienced individuals up front. But I think, and again, it's just my opinion, but hands down, sponsors offer better quality of life, and with risk comes reward. When you work at one of these small biotechs, yes, you are risking a little bit of stability because they are small, they are unproven. Sometimes they don't have any drugs or products on market or even close to getting approved. So it's a long road ahead that requires a lot of financing and favorable market conditions. But I think with that risk, the trade-off is faster career growth as far as your opportunities and the skill sets you can develop than some of these CROs. These CROs might bring you on, employ you, but what you notice, they have a lot of turnover. They have a lot of turnover for a reason. Quality of life is one of them that I brought up, but another one is you kind of tend to get stuck in your role, and yes, you may be promised advancements, but they're just slower. So what a lot of people do that work at CROs is they go work at another CRO or they'll go work at a sponsor in order to advance their careers. And I think at sponsors you have less of this issue. So that's one thing. Or that's several things actually, not just one thing. But as far as stability, they're both fairly stable. Again, the long tail of the sponsors is where it gets risky, but same with the long tail of the CROs, although there's only a dozen or so CROs really. Like my company, DSCS, we're a CRO. We're rarely, if ever, hiring because we're such a boutique CRO, and we have our CRA Academy interns that actually do a lot of the remote monitoring. So, you know, the long tail of the CROs, we're talking maybe dozens. The long tail of the sponsors, we're talking thousands. I mean, there's biotechs every day. I've been in this industry 20 years. There's biotechs that I'm seeing every week that I've never heard of. And they have studies, and they're well capitalized, and they're hiring CRAs, and they're looking for sites. So stability is there. Life sciences is booming. If you had to pick and choose, I don't think you can go wrong. I think what you can do is use the CROs to level up, but then move on to sponsors. But by all means, the first job you can get, take it. Now, once you already have some experience, this is where these kind of questions come in. Which one's more stable? Obviously, the bigger companies are more stable, but I actually think the CROs at the high end are more stable than even the pharma at the high end. Like if biotech is entering a renaissance and a boom period, these CROs are going to capitalize off of all of that. Now, quality of life, whole nother thing. So hopefully this helps, Guru Nation. Like, subscribe, comment, share. You can't go wrong, but if you have to pick, this is my opinion. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.